So today we are talking about a very important subject. We're talking about swing playing, and we're going to ask the question of whether is it important to swing on plane. So welcome back to the Forest of Arden. Again, it's cold, it's windy, it's frosty. It is a typical winter's morning here in the UK, and today we're talking about playing or swing playing. And we're going to ask the question of whether it is important to swing on plane. Before we get into the video, if you are new to my channel, you are not a subscriber, I would absolutely love you to be so. There is a link down in the description box below, or if you'd rather wait to the end of the video, there's a clickable link which again will allow you to be a subscriber. There are videos coming each and every week helping you understand the golf swing, play some better golf, and more importantly, enjoy the time that you get out on the course a little bit more. So swing playing, it's a topic which has been around for as long as I can remember, certainly, and I'm sure a long time before that. So let's quickly go through what we might sort of understand by the term swing playing. So you can see on the ground I've got this stick which is representing where I'm aiming, or my ball to target line, or a line parallel to that. So if we were to swing on plane, we would generally have in the takeaway the golf club shaft matching that line, so parallel to it. When we get halfway back, we would generally have the golf club referencing the ball to target line. If that golf club reached parallel to the ground at the top, it would again be sort of parallel to the ball to target line. On the way down, the golf club again would be referencing the golf ball. At this point here, the golf club would be parallel, and then we would deliver the club to the ball. Now, if I have a brand new golfer, a complete beginner, that concept to those ideas are great for them to get a pretty good understanding about what the golf swing is like, how it works. But if we were looking to get better at golf, if I was looking to be the best golfer I could be, I would generally look at the best in the world, and I would kind of see what they do. Now, when we look at the best in the world across all of the tours, the ladies tour, the men's tour, the seniors tour, we actually don't see any golfers demonstrating a golf swing which is perfectly on plane. They are close, don't get me wrong. Then you're not going to see many golfers doing well with the clubs kind of out here or in here. But let's go through an example of what we often see. We often see in the takeaway the golf club doesn't match parallel. We often find halfway back, again, the golf club doesn't reference the ball line. As we get to transition, we often find that the club shaft points outside the ball line. So what we kind of understand as a concept, and which is great for beginners, we don't actually see that happening in the real world. We don't see golfers swinging that way. So it's almost a bit of a kind of, searching for that perfect on-plane swing isn't necessarily going to help you play some better golf. What I would suggest you do is look at the last point in the downswing, or the delivery. That is key. So if I was looking to hit pretty straight shots, I would really need my golf club, when it's parallel to the ground, to be about parallel to the ball to target line. This is going to help me swing the golf club pretty much towards my target. Now, depending on angle of attack, we're not going to go into it too much in this video, the angle of attack will influence it, but that's going to give me a club path which is roughly towards my target. If my club path is towards my target, as long as I get my club face pretty much towards my target, I can play some pretty good golf. I can play with a little amount of curve. I can play with some consistency in that ball flight and some predictability in that ball flight. If you're struggling with your golf game and you're struggling with curve, you're going to probably find that you're quite a long way away from this parallel position that we spoke about. You might be too far this way or too far this way. Now, if you are looking to change the curve in your golf ball, you certainly might have some feels that are kind of more here or more here. And I've certainly done videos fairly recently where I've asked you to feel like the club head is more behind your hands, because this is going to change our path and move us toward more of a draw pattern. The point of this video really is to almost get you to kind of move away from trying to swing on perfectly on plane. Don't worry too much if you see your takeaway a little bit more in this position. Don't be too concerned if you see the club shaft a little bit too steep in the backswing. Don't be overly concerned if the club's a little across or a little laid off. If we can get this point correct, we can play good golf, because from here to the ball, that is absolutely vital that we get that correct. The bits that precede that can be a little bit, we can be a little bit steep, a little bit flat. It's not going to have a huge amount of impact on that position. My preference, and this would be my preference, I certainly wouldn't coach everybody into this position, but my preference would be to have the club head a little bit outside the hands in the takeaway, to have the club shaft a little bit steeper halfway back, in transition have the club shaft pointing outside the ball, and then as we get to this point, we start to match those two up and deliver the golf club. Think about what we've just said in this video about where we want that club's delivery. There is so much out there at the moment about how to shallow the club shaft, how to get it shallowing in the downswing. But let's take an example of, let's say, a Sergio Garcia. A Sergio Garcia will go up to the top. He has a lot of shallowing. So what does he actually have to do from here to the ball? He actually has to steepen that club shaft. But all he does is he gets it into this fantastic position from where he can play golf. So whether you need to steepen the shaft, shallow the shaft, keep it on its same angle is really very, very individual to you. You need to understand your golf swing, how your golf swing works, and what you need to do in order to achieve a good position here, which is going to allow you to deliver the club to the ball. Simple drill, as we've done here. Alignment stick on the ground, giving yourself a ball to target line. Let's work on matching these two up for fairly straight shots. Club behind the hands for slightly right to left shots, and club outside the hands for slightly left to right shots, all relying on the club face being in the right position relative to those deliveries. That might be another video. So let's go ahead and hit one. Now, if you know my swing at all, you'll know that I tend to get the club a little bit this way. So my feels are more here. That's the feel, it's not the reality. Let's see how close we get. Ball flight would suggest I did okay. I'd have to watch that back to see, but that would suggest that I did fairly good. So swing playing and swinging on playing, it's a great concept for brand new golfers to get their head around what the golf swing is like. But in reality, we don't see the best in the world do that. Make sure your delivery is good and work out what you need to do to get the club into that good delivery position. That is how you can play good golf and you can make the most out of your golf swing. Hopefully that makes sense and clears up a few ideas around swing playing. I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments box and also suggestions on videos you'd like me to do moving forwards. Again, you can drop those into the comments box down there. There's a like button down there, and as we said at the start of the video, in the description box there's a link to subscribe or a clickable link over here, my logo, that will allow you to do just that. Would love to have you part of my channel moving forwards. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here again soon.